All right, guys, we ready to get started? All right, have we given the announcement yet?
What's the announcement?
You guys know the announcement yet?
It's all you.
No.
Autumn is coming to Maine for our super weekend in November. Emma goes, holy. So we're going to start announcing it, but you guys, you can start promoting that online and like getting people to come to this event with you, because think about how many people will want to come just to work out with Autumn, like random public who've seen her and stuff like that, or people who have followed you. So it's a great time to get people to this event, because not only is she going to be there, Raina's going to be there. So Raina's going to be sharing her story. Autumn's going to be there like talking and telling us about like the power that we have in like working out. And we have Sam from our team signed on to do the transformation talk. So she's going to talk all about how 80 Day changed like her health, her life, and all the craziness she used to think about Beachbody before and all that stuff. So it's going to be an amazing event. So I wanted to come on here, let you know about it so you can go announce it. But we do have a special call for you tonight, because I love it when we have new people talking and not the oldies but goodies, because you can see even more so that this is possible for you. So without further ado, Mariah, Shannon, I'm going to let you guys take it away. I do have it recording, so we're all set to go. And I'm going to mute my butt and let you go for it.
Awesome. So I know I have a couple girls that are going to be sharing, and of course when I message them, and I didn't want to just bring it on people and randomly call them out. That's not how I like to have things done to me. So, and all of them were like, I don't have anything to share. Like, we've all felt that way. Like, there's nothing that I can say to all these people who have been coaching for years, or, who have great coach mentors or whatever that they don't already know or whatever. But I just encourage them, like, one, it's so empowering to be able to speak and teach on a team call. Like, that's when I kind of like came into my own as a leader. Never saw myself as a leader, despite being in a charge nurse role, a nursing supervisor role, and the greatest leadership role of all, being a mom. And so I just didn't have that belief in myself. So I said, look at this call as just like a little pebble in your belief pile. And it's going to help you grow into a leader. And you can be confident that something that you say is going to resonate with everybody on this call. It's going to be the right time for them to hear the right thing. And so we basically just want to chat with them about why they started coaching, what's working for them, how they fit into their busy lives. And so I don't see Lindsay on here yet, but so why don't we just start with what drew you to coaching? What drew you to this opportunity? Did you jump right in? Did you say no to your coach a million times? But like your why. Was it the community? Was it that you just were like, it was kind of like a big depression, feeling overwhelmed, having 2 young kids at home and just needing to find myself in something. So I'm going to pick on one of my ladies first. And I know that Emma's super excited to share. So I'll have you unmute yourself and you can go first, Emma. Just share like why you decided, because you were a challenger first. So kind of just share a little bit of your backstory there.
Yeah. So I definitely started out as a challenger first. I was doing quite a while. I don't know what the noise is. Okay, sorry. So anyway, yeah, started out as a challenger, and I've been working out for years, not necessarily with Beachbody stuff, but started more or less doing it. I think back in November is where I really was like, okay, I'm going to do a program, do the nutrition, stick to everything. And I did Lift 4, and I absolutely loved it, got amazing results. And after that, I just was like, okay, Mariah, it's time. Like, I'm ready. And I had to wait 6 months to become a coach again. So that was kind of interesting. But as soon as I got signed up, I was like ready to go. I had depression and anxiety and all that stuff everyone talks about too. And, doing this has just made a huge helping people. I love it. I'm a nurse, so I do that sort of thing anyway. But, I think that's essentially how I got started.
Ashley, do you want to go next? Did you hear the question? We're just like, how did you get started? Why did you decide to coach? Did your coach have to ask you multiple times? And what piece of coaching really drew you in, and like, did you need?
I said no a million times to Renee, and then she kept begging me, and finally I said yes. And then I failed at it, I felt like a million times, and she kept pushing me not to give up and to push harder. So this is all because of Renee, because if she didn't stop hounding me and telling me I could do this, I would not be here. Now that I'm here, I love helping other people. I love everyone seeing the potential that they can have, because I've been working out for years, and I wasn't always fit. I was overweight. I was over 200 pounds, and I got here because of Beachbody. So I wanted everyone to see they could get here too. My struggles are putting myself out there and doing the stories and talking, because I hate seeing myself talking. So I need to work on that more. And other than that, my other things I struggle with is finding time. I commute an hour both way to work, and I try to do my invites in the morning and my follow-ups at night so that they're spaced out, and then I try to reach out to people throughout the day. But yeah, the biggest thing is I need to stay on task and follow my tracker, which I have and I'm working on. So that's been a huge help. I don't know what the other questions are, if you had any more.
Nope, we'll go through and we'll ask a few more, I think. Caitlin, do you want to go next?
So Shannon is my coach, and the way we came about is kind of really funny. So we're mutual friends through, and I'm from Oklahoma and she's from Maine, so it's crazy. But we kind of had a mutual friend, and I worked with her dad. So after I had that little boy that just walked in, I was like 7 months postpartum, and I worked out a ton before I got pregnant. And this doctor that I worked with knew that. And he was talking to me, he was like, hey, have you started working out again? Like, what are you doing now? And I was like, well, I wanted to start getting back into it. I just haven't yet. And he was like, well, let me tell you about this girl that I know on Facebook. She works out with her kids every day. She's a Beachbody coach, and she helps moms get back into shape. So my sister-in-law and I wanted to do it. So I contacted Shannon. And the funny part of it is that through our mutual friend, we did that Secret Santa thing on Facebook, or Secret Sister thing. And like, Shannon was the person I sent a gift to. So that's our funny little touch to it. But that was I just got started with the workouts. So as far as coaching, Shannon contacted me multiple times. I joined in March of 2018 with just Beachbody On Demand, and she contacted me multiple times saying, you'd be great at coaching, you should really try it. And I was like, no, like I'm okay. And then in November 2018, I was like, okay, maybe I want to start trying the shakes. And so I joined for the discount, and then Shannon added me to this Project Fearless group, and I just saw the momentum and the community and everything, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna do this, and kind of history from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So just, if you guys didn't hear, all of these ladies were invited multiple times, and everyone probably was before they actually said yes. So follow-ups and not being afraid to, bring stuff up again, because life happens, things change, people so you might just catch them at the right time. Was there anyone else? I was just trying to see. So we can go back through, and if you want to share with us a little bit, like what you do on like a daily basis to keep up your momentum, to helping people to be doing success club. Like, what are the daily things, non-negotiables that you do every day? Caitlin, you start. We'll go backwards.
I just try to stay consistent as much as I can with workouts and like posting to my stories. I try to post every morning, and I got this from Shannon, like a grateful post on your stories. So you list things that you think about that morning that you're grateful for, and so I do that. Also, I post my workout, and anytime I'm using like Energize, I call it my turn up juice. I post that. I also do like my meals, and even if it's something that is not the healthiest thing and not the healthiest choice, I still put it on there. And I mean, everybody's human, so. But I try to post my healthy meals and everything like that. So I really just try to be consistent on social media, and also with my posts. And that's something I've wanted to start working on, is posting more. I've really just been doing maybe like 4 times a week or so. So I really want to get to where I'm posting daily, to help me with that. Non-negotiables as well are follow-ups and invites every day. I'll go to my posts and my story, and just everybody that's watched it that I haven't talked to, or that I haven't talked to in like, my timeline is usually a month that I do follow-ups. So if I haven't talked to him yet, I'll just be like, hey, Ashley, thanks for watching my story. Thanks for all the support. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm doing this new program. It's 100 days, or it's 100 workouts, and it's so much fun, and all my ladies are killing it. Would you be interested in more info? Just little things like that. But follow-ups are definitely part of my non-negotiable.
Perfect. Hey, I don't know. Can everyone make sure they're muted too? There's just some background noise that's making it kind of hard to hear. Ashley, you're up. What are you doing on the daily that's helping you, get and keep momentum and in Success Club, things like that?
The daily tracker is helping me big time. I struggle, like I said earlier, kind of said all of my things at once, but if I don't go through the daily tracker, I am missing things. So I try to do my follow-ups, like I said, either morning or night, and then the invites at the opposite. And I'm trying to I have pen and paper to keep track of everyone that I've talked to that has either said no, not right now, or maybe later, because those no's have actually a year later turned into people that are consistently buying Shakeology and are doing this with us now. So it took me a year for 2 of them last month to keep reaching out, and here they are. So that's how I'm trying to stay consistent, is follow-ups are huge. I'm a follow-up, and here I am.
Did everyone hear that? Follow-ups are huge. Where are you, Emma?
Yeah, follow-ups are huge. That is where I feel like I've gotten so many people. So connecting and really reaching out to people is key, because if you don't have that initial connection, and people are going to be watching your stories and all of that, if you don't have that initial connection, they're not going to reach out to you, or if you reach back out to them, they're not going to be, interested. But if you connect with them, like talk to them about anything on their Facebook or social media, or anything that you have in common. And so I think connections are really important. Personal development, like I do that in the car in the morning on my way to work, and I do it on my way home. And that's when I get that in, which is great, like podcasts and things. I mean, obviously I'm a product of the product. Like I do my workouts. I mean, tonight I almost didn't get my workout in, but I had my my stepdaughter watch my son, and it worked out great. And also, like, on stories and things like that, like, people want to see the real you. Like, they don't need to see that you eat healthy all the time, because it's not real. It's not true. I mean, I have chocolate. I eat things I'm not supposed to, and so they need to know that. And it's good to share things about your family and your kids and all your real life, because we're real people. And consistency, like just trying to post every day, which is kind of a struggle sometimes. But yeah, consistency, follow-ups, all the same things you guys all said.
So, like, obviously overwhelming theme there. And I know that it wasn't just like, boom, all of a sudden you're like master inviter, master follow-up, master with consistency. But I always like tell my coaches that if you get overwhelmed and if life gets crazy, like if you can do anything, show up on social media and also mute yourselves. But just like, if that's the only thing that you can do, show up, because that's what people remember. They will think like, Emma has like a crazy life and she's got, her kids and she's a charge nurse and she's working all the time, but she's still showing up, and like if she can do it, then maybe I can do it, and just like inspiring people that way. But it takes practice, and it takes your coach sometimes having to nudge you like, hey, I haven't seen you showing up, and grabbing somebody, maybe one of the coaches on this team call right now, and like holding each other accountable for coaching activities, getting a success partner. So what I want to know from you guys now is, like, what do you see as your, either what was or what is your biggest like self-limiting belief, or struggle or obstacle that either you're working on overcoming or that you have overcome already, as a coach, and something that you might, that somebody else might be struggling with as well. So, Emma.
Do you mean like struggling with like myself, like what I struggle with?
Yeah, like either, it could be something like, you have a really hard time dealing with objections, or it could be something like you don't see, yourself as a leader, and so it's hard for you to reach out to people because, like that self-limiting.
Self-limit, yeah. I mean, it is hard for me to reach out to people, actually, and I don't see myself as a leader. And like Mariah and I were talking earlier, I do have a lot of leadership roles, but the coaching world seems so different to me, and it's probably because I haven't been involved in it as long. But I'm hoping that it can get to that place, because I really, really love it so far. So I just need to step out of my comfort zone, more or less, and do the things that scare me. Like this is a really good example. I don't do these things, and it's hard. So the more I do it, the more comfortable I get with it. Same with reaching out to people. The more you do it, the better you become at it, and it becomes easier and easier.
And just real quick, because I just thought about it, can you just share a little bit about, because you started coaching it was January, right?
It was, like February, I think.
Okay.
Right at the end of January.
So just this year, but can you just share a little bit about like Summit and what happened with all that?
Oh yeah. So first of all, I wasn't really sure I was going to be going to Summit. And then I got Success Starter, the three months in a row starting out. And so I got a free ticket to Summit. So I was like, okay, well, why wouldn't I do this? I just have to pay for the plane ticket. So anyway, long story short, I headed out to Indianapolis, had a layover in Philadelphia, and the weather was crazy, lots of thunderstorms and stuff. And so the flight was delayed for like 3 hours out on the runway. It was crazy. They brought us back to the gate. It was still delayed, and then eventually it was canceled. And I was like, okay, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, do I stay in Philadelphia? Do I get a flight back home? Like, what do I do? And it was just kind of a panic. There were tons of other Beachbody coaches there, like wanting to get there and everything. So we looked for buses, we looked for other flights, we looked for everything, and ended up meeting up with two other girls. One girl lived like 30 minutes away from the airport, and I hopped in with her and another girl, and we went to her house, got her car, and we drove 10 hours or whatever it was overnight to get to Indianapolis. Got there at like 7 in the morning. And I mean, talk about adrenaline, like really crazy. And I just knew I couldn't miss it. I knew if I missed it, then I would have negative feelings towards it. And I didn't want that because, you know, I love it. So well worth it, but crazy trip. Yeah, everyone should get to Summit.
Okay, Ashley. So the biggest struggle or self-limiting belief, something that like prevented you from getting going, or some hurdle that you know, have to kind of fight through even now?
Putting myself out there and being vulnerable and showing everybody that I'm friends with what my life looks like. I used to hide on Facebook. I didn't post a lot of stuff. And so now I'm trying to be more open about things. And still struggles. Oh, I'm terrible at posting in my stories other than my workouts. I hate, hate talking. I hate this. But I'm getting over it and I'm doing it, and I'm working really hard at being better at those things because of you and Renee pushing me. So thank you.
Well, I told Emma earlier, she was like, I'm so scared, like the first thing she said, and I was like, that means that you should do it. Mm-hmm. And it's true. That's where the growth happens. And I know that I told you, and I'll just say it for everybody, like, that you're super consistent with posting your workouts and stuff, but I was like, I want to know who you are, because like, I know you like through Renee, and I know you from these team calls and stuff like that, but like, I want to know like what you do at work, and I want to know like what your home life looks like and what you do for fun and stuff. And so I've seen, like, as we've been talking about, I've obviously seen more coming out there, but it's super important for, you know, to gain that trust and build relationships with people, I think too. So, Kaylin. Same question.
So kind of like what Ashley said with the vulnerability, I was diagnosed with postpartum depression like 6 weeks after I had my first son. And so sharing that and like getting the support with that has helped a lot. I've started to share about that a lot more. And also something that is self-limiting to me is like getting no's and objections. I one time had a person that was like telling me how bad of a person I was because I didn't know her and I was reaching out to her for an MLM, you know, things like that. She got really defensive. So I was talking to Shannon about it, and Shannon was just like, hey, that's not your people. Don't worry about it. Like, on to the next. So just kind of dealing with, I guess, not really rude people, but people that just aren't your people. And so that's something that has kind of held me back before, but I am doing my best to just kind of fight through that and still reach out to people because I have something that is amazing and I don't want to hide it from anybody. So.
Yes. I feel like I've got my 1-900 voice coming on because I'm a little bit stuffy. So, you know, you're welcome. I wanted to, like, real quick, maybe one more thing, just because I think a lot of us struggle with it and everyone's in different situations. Kaylin, pregnant and working full-time as a nurse. Emma, sounds like you're a nurse too. Anyway, everyone's busy, and Ashley, you can share about, you know, what you're doing, but just kind of finding and making the time for fitting this in. Any tips and tricks you might have, or anything that's helped you as far as time management and making this a priority to help you reach your goals?
Oh, yeah, I struggled a lot in the beginning with time management. I've watched a ton of the coach stuff on Facebook about time management and doing your trackers and making time, setting 20-minute timers and only doing your sheets. And I have found a system that works for me. I work 2 jobs and I commute. So like I said earlier, I do stuff in the morning, I do stuff at night, and then I try to find little, even if it's 5-minute gaps in my day, just to reach back to somebody and say, hey, I'll get to you later. I haven't forgot about you. And that's how I try to do my day. On my days off, I set hour blocks, but when I'm super busy, it's 5 to 10 minute blocks. If that's all I have, then I try to power through.
Do you go by the Success Club tracker as far as what you're doing in each of those blocks, or like do you have certain times of the day? I know you said invites in the morning, follow-ups in the evening. Do you follow your tracker for the rest of the stuff?
Yeah, I try to follow my tracker, because if I don't, I am too busy and too scatterbrained and I'll forget things. So like I will highlight through what I get done as I'm doing it, or I'll know like, hey, I'll have 5 minutes later, I'll try to do something on Facebook or reach out to some girls that have been doing good in the challenge group. So it's kind of random, but because my day is so busy at work that I don't have 10-minute blocks usually. So it's kind of random, but it works for me.
And I think that's key, is it's finding what works for you. Because obviously not everyone has the same schedule, same goals, same priorities. And so figuring out a system that works for you. Emma, what about you?
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of time. I swear, it's crazy. But so I think I said earlier, I do a lot of my personal development in the car. I mean, I would love to pick up a book, but it just is so rare. So I listen to podcasts to and from work. So that's how I get my personal development in, which is great. And I like doing that. Except for tonight, my workouts are usually in the morning. I mean, I get up at 5 o'clock, work out at 5:30, and so that's done before Joey gets up. He's my my little 3-year-old, and so and then after that, I do my a couple of my stories. So I'll do like my workout story. I'll take my selfie. I'll post in the challenge groups. There's a couple right now, so I'll just make sure I post in those. Bam, bam, bam. Get that done. And then honestly, I'm just kind of doing things throughout the day. Like I'll go to the bathroom and like do a little bit on my phone. Like on my lunch break, I'm doing stuff all the time. And I try not to get distracted. It's hard because Facebook is distracting. Like I find myself scrolling and then, nope, Emma, like, what are you doing? So get back to it. So I just really have to just know that I need to do these things. I need to invite. I need to do all those things and just get them done while I can.
Awesome. Caitlin?
So I get up earlier in the morning. So now I was doing like 5, but now I'm doing like 4:45, so I can have a little bit of extra time to get that work in too. Because I work out in the morning. I work in a clinic from 8 to 5. So I get up, drink my Energize, and do like the grateful post I was talking about before, and post about my Energize, and then I do my workout story and check in with my challenge groups after that. And then get ready for work, take jet, go to work and everything. I sometimes do stuff on my lunch breaks, but other than that, it's generally too busy. So I'll do like a couple of reach outs or maybe a post or a couple story things on my lunch break. And then I generally do most of my work in the evening as far as like follow-ups and posting and invites and things like that. Sundays are big work days for me. I know Shannon and I and Shaylee and I plan a lot on Sundays for the week for challenge groups. And I'll go ahead and schedule all my posts, which is so much easier because I was just doing like the night before. And that got really, really overwhelming. So I found that planning and posting on Sundays, scheduling posts helps a ton because generally my Sundays are pretty relaxed. So that's when I do a lot of like my meal prepping as well.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Does anyone else have any questions? I was just moral of the call, follow up, find time where you can, because if you I'm not gonna be able to remember it. Something about if you really want it, you'll make the time. If you don't, you'll make an excuse. Figure out why you're doing this. Know that those self-limiting beliefs, everyone has them. It's just how we work through them and how we can see the end goal and how that's more important than those objections and self-limiting beliefs and all the fears. And did I say follow up? Mariah, does anyone else have anything? I don't know, I'm just kind of winging it. Katie, you haven't had that baby yet, still pregnant?
We're watching your stories, so we know you're being consistent with sharing what's going on, so that's good. Yeah, I think that's what we just wanted to share. We talk about what we do as people who have been coaching for several years, and then these girls have really just started coaching, within the past year or so. They're doing the same things. And just to echo what Ashley said about, the people from a year ago coming back to you now, if you're constantly just doing small, inviting even 3 to 5 people a day, that's what I did when I first started. Literally, that's all I could do was 3, sometimes just 3 people a day. But every single day, that adds up. And then those people, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. And that's why I have a constant, steady stream of people being like, okay, I'm ready now. Okay, I'm ready now. Because 9 times out of 10, the people that I talk to are not ready right off. So it's just continuing to reach out to more and more people and then following up with the people that you've talked to so that they know that when they're ready, you're there. And that's why you show up every single day and do your workout and drink your shake. And they know that you're the person that they want to go to because you don't give up on yourself. So yeah, so you guys don't have any other questions, then we'll hop off.
See you guys. Thank you.
Night.